Hi everyone, it's Heidi from flutterbyheidi.co.uk and I'm Heidi Smith. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in the United Kingdom, and today it's one of my 3D projects, and I thought we would play with the lovely Tidings and Trimmings stamp set that you can see here and accompanying dies. So I'm not actually using the stamp set, I'm just using the dies and the coordinating paper. And these are the papers here. You can see the lovely colours at the bottom there, as 6x6 double-sided paper, and these are obviously the reverses of each of the paper. The die cuts cut out the stockings, they cut out the beautiful star and the bow and the foliage, and also, next one, I'm not actually putting those straight, that's really not very helpful. Those are the stamps in the images, lovely Christmas themed ones, and these are the die cuts that I'm using today. So this lovely detailed star and the outline star as well. And you can see there's some fabulous little holly leaf embellishments here, tiny little berries, a little bit fiddly but worth it because I think they do give a lovely dimension to it. Some super foliage, and as I've said, they cut out all of these other shapes as well. So today I'm going to be doing this little star box. Great for Christmas gifting, perfect for the Christmas table, or if you're making favours. I actually decided after I'd made this one that my next one I'm actually going to have the base slightly, you could have, well, I haven't decided. You could have the base slightly offset if you wanted as well, to make it easier to get on and off. This one is quite flush, yeah, really quite easy to make. Just a little bit of DSP around the outside there. And so I thought I'd use one of the other colours within the suite, which is cherry cobbler. So you're going to need 2 pieces of card, and one is 25 centimetres long. So that's this one, so 25, and that is by 5 centimetres. Yeah, because it comes at, that makes it 4 centimetres high. And then the other one is 24, again by 5 centimetres. Now you could, as I said, make your box taller by just increasing this dimension. And what you want to do with both of them is score on the short edge at 1 centimetre. Because that's what we're going to use to glue it to our base. Other things you're going to need, so I have already die cut 2 of the outline stars in cherry cobbler, and then I've actually used some gold foil sheets. I've attached some double-sided the adhesive sheet to that and then die cut it, and although all the pieces haven't come out, I will show you that when you peel that off, that tends to bring most of them out as well. When you peel it, you'll see that actually almost all of those pieces come out. I quite like when there's the odd one in there as well, but I do like to stick this down early on so that you can make it sure it's really well adhered. So give it a good press down. There we go. So that's going to be our lid for our box. So this is, so the 25 centimetre piece is our lid. Now this is in centimetres, quite simply because it just works to get those slightly smaller increments. I haven't worked it out in inches. If I get a chance I will, but I haven't done as yet. So to start off with then, 2.4 millimetres, 4.8, 7.2, 9.6, 12 centimetres, 14.4, 16.8, so please know I'm avoiding the join, 19.2, 21.6, and then 24 centimetres. So obviously that's going to be our little join at the end there. Then the base, again, we've scored at 1 centimetre, and then it is literally just a millimetre on each of those. So this starts at 2.3, and then 4.6, 6.9, 9.2, 11.5, 13.8, 16.1, now that literally is just over that, 18.4, 20.7, and 23 centimetres. Now you notice with this what I'm generally doing is going from the bottom to the top, and the reason for that is that helps butt it up against that. If I come from the top down, there's a chance that that will slip and you won't get nice straight score lines. That's just what I do. So there we go. So we're going to take, you'll see a slightly long one, which is our lid. Make sure you just reinforce all of those score lines. I'll go with my bone folder in a bit, but what you want to do is cut into these. Now you kind of ideally want about a 45 degree, although you don't need it on all of them, because obviously you're kind of going in and out. I just find it easier to just work with the same kind of angle on all of these. So I'm just folding and snipping those. You also want a glue that's quite a that is has got a bit of movement, so I'm going to use a wet glue. If you've got a quick grab glue, that's great. You just need to hold it a little bit longer if it's not. So again, all of those we just trim, and then that last one just trim away slightly, top and bottom, just to help it. So you'll end up with a piece like that. So that's for our top. I'm going to put that on there, and then exactly the same with the bottom. So just sort of snipping the end. Like so. So as I say, I'm just kind of coming across it about 45 degrees. So again, just take that. Okay. So now what we want to do is actually glue this into our sort of ring. So I'm going to do that like so. Do the same with the bottom one. Just press those for a moment. Okay. Now, what you want to do next is you're going to make our star shape. So we're just creating those by in and out, so mountain and valley folds, and you'll see our star shape starting to appear. And this is where, by cutting those 45 degree angles, you'll see they'll fit nicely into the star shape. Now the trickiest bit on this is this next bit. So what you're going to do is add the glue to the tabs. And if yours is just a Tombow, just a wet glue, you need to just leave it just of kind of ideally just to set a little bit. Oh, and what I meant to do was actually add my DSP first. Oh well, never mind. So then you're going to pop. Work out where that is, because you want that sort of hidden. You don't want that on a point. And then I just squeeze that in, and quite simply just hold it in place until it starts to grab with the glue. And And then I turn it over, and then by turning it over you can then make sure that your points are a little bit more even. So I'm just sort of popping in. When I'm happy with where that particular section is, I just press down a little bit. And again, like so. Because the shape, obviously, of the top will always be the same, if it's not quite even, it doesn't matter too much. And I'll show you why in a moment, because when we fit our base, you will see why. So there's our top of our box. So let's quickly do the DSP, which is what I intend to do. Better to do the DSP while it's flat. Because obviously it just keeps it nice and neat. The DSP is 4 centimetres, so it's about I go for about 3.7 centimetres in height, and then you're going to have a piece that's about just over 2, so about 2.2, and you'll see that will then just fit onto the side there, like so. So I'm actually going to just take it down to 2.1, and this is a directional paper, so that's quite good while that box is settling. So put that on this side, 2.1. And you're going to want 10 pieces of that, so I'm just going to cut another one. Let's see again. So don't want it 4.7 at all. At 3.7. Yeah, by again, as I said, so 2.1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. And as I say, it would have been so much easier if I'd remembered to do that before I create my box, but hey, there we go. So that's actually settling quite nicely and setting quite nicely. So just with these, all you need to do is just pop a little adhesive and pop those on the side there. Now again, if you're making lots of these, you might not want to add the decoration on the side. Or you might want to put different panels on. Either way, you know, it all depends on how many you've got to make. I tend to sort of, we don't have a big family, so my sort of dinner table, you know, I only end up generally doing sort of 6 or 8 of things, so it's not too much of a chore, and I can kind of make them over the run up to Christmas, which is always good fun. And obviously you can sort of tailor the colouring with this paper, because there's so many different colours in it. You can really vary it depending on whether you're sort of traditional or whether you want something like the lovely mint macaron that's in there. Or is it soft succulent? I can't remember. Macaron? Yeah, soft succulent, I think. Oh, I can't remember. I'll have to have a look at the back of the paper. I'll remind myself. The mint soft succulent and evening evergreen do look absolutely beautiful together. And they will be around obviously for another year yet, so they're one of our in colours. But as all of our in colours, they stay for a 2-year period. But I always say to people, you know, if you like a colour, make sure you get the refill at the same time as that ink pad, if you can, or certainly, you know, while it's available, because one of the first things that goes are those ink refills. And if you like a colour, you really want to keep it. Right, so there we go. Let's clear the decks. Oh, one more. Don't clear the decks just yet. There we go. Okay, so last piece on there. Okay, right, so now we can go ahead and make our insert. And you're going to go, but hey, how do we get the shape the same? So this time I'm actually going to pop. So work out where your join was. And my join is just here. And I'm actually going to move the join around slightly. So we're still going to make the star shape the same. So that's just of concertinaing those sort of in. So valley and mountain, just alternate them to get our star shape. So there's our rough star shape. And what you need to do is then pop that in. So where my join is on this one is just here. So I'm actually just going to move that round one. And that's just so we don't get too much bulk. And just pop it in like this and then fold our flaps down. Again, come in with our glue. You'll see I'm using a sort of fine tip glue here, just because it's easier. You can buy these dispensers elsewhere, but I find by using this with a Swatombo, it just helps keep it nice and easy to control. So you see I've done underneath and over the top on each of those flaps, and quite simply take your die cut and just pop that on the top. And again, just hold it in place until it's kind of grabbed those tabs. Not quite. And once it has, you can again just go in and give those a good press down. And that way, by making it just a fraction smaller, you get a perfectly fitted little box. And there we have a pair of fabulous star-shaped boxes ready for the Christmas table. And you know what? I reckon they're about perfect for a Ferrero. So maybe this will be a Ferrero Friday project. Thanks for watching. Do come back and see me again soon, and please hit subscribe. It really does make a difference to me if you can hit that subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye now.